Good evening, everyone. This is Mellissa Thomas with Florida National News, coming to you with the evening news rundown for your Monday, June 8th, 2020. Thank you for tuning in. Now, as always, we like to bring you guys the latest COVID-19 reports globally here in the United States and here in the state of Florida. So globally, according to the World Health Organization, we are at over 6.9 million confirmed cases and over 400,000 confirmed deaths. Now, here in the United States, according to the CDC, the US is reporting over 1.93 million confirmed cases and over 110,000 confirmed deaths. Here in the state of Florida, according to the Florida Department of Health dashboard, we're closing in on 65,000 confirmed cases here, and we are at over 2,700 confirmed deaths. Now, speaking of statistics, jumping into our world story, Brazil, the nation of Brazil, has chosen to stop reporting its daily new cases and death toll numbers. Now, this is raising an alarm for folks across the nation. There's some speculation that the country is trying to cover up its numbers. However, President Bolsonaro's maintaining that, hey, the numbers simply they're not representative of the country's current situation. Now, according to Johns Hopkins, their numbers, they're reporting over 673,000 confirmed cases and currently 35,930 deaths in the nation of Brazil. That's as of Sunday. So those are the latest numbers we have to go by, because as of Friday, the nation's health ministry took down the national numbers, the site that had the national numbers. And then on Saturday, the health ministry took down the state-specific numbers. So as of right now, the Johns Hopkins numbers that I just reported to you, those are the latest numbers that we have to go by. As of right now, the Council of State and the Supreme Court they're saying the taking down of those numbers is problematic. It's wrong and authoritarian is what they're saying. So fortunately, we here in the United States, we still have access to the numbers to be able to report to you guys as much as we possibly can between the World Health Organization, the CDC here, and thankfully Johns Hopkins University as well. Now, we have 3 US stories for you, a lot of news here in the United States. But the first story is that New York is now allowing outdoor graduations. Of course, we saw the numbers start to decrease in the state of New York. So Governor Cuomo is going to allow outdoor graduations at the end of this month. June 26th is when that will start to go into effect. Of course, with social distancing in place, there will be a 150-person maximum for those graduations. So far, as of Friday, the state of New York was reporting 35 deaths. On Saturday, only 45. So this is a good decrease from the 700 daily deaths that they were seeing back in April. So Governor Cuomo is being as careful as possible, obviously reopening the state bit by bit. But he mentioned that this is not set in stone. Things could change if the numbers start to increase again. So we'll keep you posted where that's concerned. Now, the second US story, which is a much bigger one, the City Council in Minneapolis, 9 of the 12 members of the City Council there have vowed to disband the local police as they know it. Now, they were at a rally on Sunday at a local park with many activists, and they promised to disband the local police force. The president of the council said, the efforts at incremental changes have failed. So as of right now, that's the declaration. However, the state launched an investigation into the police department after George Floyd's death, and there were some concrete changes that have already started to come through as of Friday. They have now banned certain chokeholds and neck restraints from the Minneapolis Police Department there. We'll see what happens as this story develops as to whether or not officially the Minneapolis Police Department will be disbanded. The concept is not new. There are at least 2 other precedents in the nation. In Camden, New Jersey, originally, the city had a police department. It disbanded in 2012 and completely recruited a new police force that actually had a county jurisdiction. Camden County is now how the policing is done in that area. And in California, something similar happened in Compton. That police force was disbanded back in 2000, and the jurisdiction was as of LA County to police the Compton area. So again, watch this space. We'll continue to keep you guys updated with that. Now, for our third U.S. story, we jump here, a little bit here to Florida, but federally speaking, our Congresswoman Val Demings has actually announced that she is co-sponsoring or has co-sponsored a bill today called the Justice in Policing Act. It's a police reform bill. Of course, she is bringing her 27 years of law enforcement experience there. She was the first female, African-American female police chief in the city of Orlando. And she admits in the press release, the bill still needs a lot of work. She's willing to contribute her expertise to continuing the improvement of the bill, but she's excited that there's certain things that are scheduled to go into effect already, namely the proposal for federal reporting of official misconduct, of police officer misconduct. So we wanted to kind of open things out to you guys for the audience question where this is concerned. Given these announcements between the Minneapolis City Council thinking about disbanding their police department, and of course, the announcement here with the bill that Congresswoman Demings is co-sponsoring, what are your personal thoughts on police reform? Leave a comment below. Do you feel that police policy needs to be reformed at all? And if you feel like it does need to be reformed, how do you feel the nation should go about it? How do you feel individual municipalities should go about it? Leave a comment below. Get as detailed as you want to, share as much of your passion as you want to, but we would love to hear from you guys. We're going to take a quick commercial break in the meantime. But in the meantime, leave your thoughts there. We'll be glad to share it with the rest of our viewing audience when we come back from this quick break. Stay tuned.
At Duke Energy, we deliver electricity and so much more, like free home energy assessments, rebates for energy-saving improvements, payment options to help you better manage your budget, and even bill credits for helping the community use less energy. So no matter what you're doing, we can help you make better energy choices every day. It's just another way we bring power to your life. How much can you save?
All right, guys, welcome back to the Evening News Rundown. Thank you for sticking with us. Now, jumping to your Florida story, good news for Miami. Miami reopens its gyms and its entertainment complexes. So congrats to the folks down there who have been waiting to really be reopen and be able to do something fun for a change specifically. So far, the gyms, bowling alleys, movie theaters, and youth sports have actually been allowed to resume officially. Standalone bars and nightclubs will remain closed. However, bars that are licensed as public goods service establishments, they'll be able to reopen in order to sell food and drinks specifically. The beach will remain closed at least until the curfew is lifted. So stay tuned here. We'll continue to keep you updated on that. But for the folks in Miami, that's some good news, socially speaking, for them. Now, jumping over to our business news, SpaceX, now that they've been able to accomplish launching their first manned space mission to the International Space Station. Congrats again to them. They're now shifting their focus to their Starship project. Now, the Starship project is meant to be able to transport 100 people to space at a time. And it's meant to create a spacecraft that is fully reusable. As of right now, their rocket is only partially reusable. So the Starship is supposed to be fully reusable and be able to have a minimum repair time in between each of its trips to be able to shuttle folks back and forth in and out of space, again at a 100 person capacity. Elon Musk sent an email to his staff saying he wants this to be dramatically worked on immediately. So congrats to his team. We'll see where things go where that's concerned. Given the success of this last particular launch, I do believe the United States is quite excited to see what is coming up next. Now, jumping over to sports very quickly, congratulations to Kevin Harvick, who had a big win in Atlanta this weekend. He won a NASCAR Cup Series there. He is the winner of the Folds of Honor Quick Trip 500, taking the checker flag at Atlanta Motor Speedway for his second NASCAR Cup Series win of this particular season. And you'll hear Casey talk about this in a little bit more detail tonight when she brings the FNN Sports Take at 8 p.m. Eastern time. But, just as every other race, in this restarted season, this particular race here was held without spectators in the stands, of course, social distancing, safety first. So congrats to Kevin Harvick. You know, that's a pretty big win for him, and Casey will explain why. But he said, quote, "My first win came from me here in Atlanta, and this is just a racetrack that I've taken a liking to." He was being interviewed with Fox Sports after the race there. And so he said, "You always come back and have those memories, and now you want to celebrate everything Dale Earnhardt did for this sport. To come here and be able to do that with wins and go to victory lane, it's pretty special." So he won in Atlanta in 2001 and 2018. So this is a pretty good win for him for 2020. Congrats to him. Now, before we wrap up with your entertainment story, we're going to take one more commercial break. Again, leave your comments below on what your thoughts are on police reform. We would love to hear your thoughts on that. But in the meantime, we're going to take another quick break. We'll be right back.
All this time we fought side by side. We trained together. We lost together. And now, you're the only one standing in my way.
Welcome back, guys. Thank you for continuing to stick with us. Now, wrapping up with your entertainment story, very fitting that there was a trailer there as the final commercial. In California, the announcement is official that filmmaking and TV productions over there will resume at the end of this week, June 12th. So filmmakers will be able to get back to their sets and get back in gear to start producing their shows or resume show production over there. Of course, you guys heard, Georgia being the first to reopen. A lot of the Georgia studios are already open and doing productions there. And as you heard us report a couple weeks ago, even in as far away as New Zealand, there's a Hollywood production there, Avatar 2, that has resumed production there. So at least now, the summer blockbuster season's starting to look a little bit more promising. We'll see how it goes in terms of the movie theaters choosing to reopen, because we heard several of the companies were not going to open until summer. And then, of course, our fall shows, we wanted to hear some news about the fall shows that were coming. So now that production is resuming, things look a little bit more promising. But that does it for us here at the Evening News Rundown, guys. Thank you so much, as always, for tuning in. If you haven't already, be sure to like us on Facebook. You can like us there at Florida National News, at FNN News TV, or at FNN News Live. And be sure to subscribe on YouTube. You can find us there at Florida National News as well. Be sure to click the little bell icon so you receive all of our notifications, not just for the Evening News Rundown, but for all of our shows. And speaking of all of our shows, be sure to stay tuned in here at Florida National News at 8 p.m. Eastern tonight. Casey will be back with the FNN Sports Take at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then tomorrow you'll see me twice again. I'll be here at 1 p.m. Eastern time for the FNN Politics and Power series. And of course, I will bring you the Evening News Rundown at 5 p.m. So thank you, as always, for tuning in. In the meantime, have a great rest of your afternoon. Take care.